So getting into a nice, comfortable position. Softening your shoulders, softening your chest, releasing your upper back, which takes the pressure out of your neck, allowing the crown of the head to float up. Softening your back, your belly, and make sure that you release your hips so that you are able to let the weight settle just in front of the sitting bones there. Your legs released, weight dropped into the center of the feet, letting go. With every exhalation, you can release through your mouth. Feel your whole body soften. As you inhale, feel the stillness deepen in your body. I wanted to give you a demonstration, but the sword is not here. Ha! Hiding around the corner here. Little practice sword. Ah. So I wanted to show you, in the traditional Chinese, we empty the chest, so the chest falls and settles. And at that moment, the upper back releases, and the neck is released upward. And it's Ba Bei, and in the calligraphy, in the writing for it, there's a sword. And the classical way of thinking about it is that as the body softens, that's the sinking down here. And as the front releases, the back is released upward. And because the neck softens, the head floats up. And it's very much like unsheathing a sword, as if you were to imagine carrying a sword in your back, which people really wouldn't do. But there's this sense of the sinking down creates this release upward. And you want to have this feeling of the falling upward of the sword because you are releasing down. Unsheathing the sword of your spine, crown of the head released upward. Just put that there. Softening all the way through to the ground. The breath is easy. Every example of softness that you can think of in your life, maybe flowing water, drifting cotton, drawing from the wisdom of nature, feeling your body release in that way with every exhalation. Each inhalation allows your whole system to soften, open, and release. A few more minutes of this quiet sitting Letting your whole body release to the ground, allowing your mind to become quiet. If you're noticing distracting thoughts, your job is only to let them go, to notice them, notice how irrelevant they are to what you're doing, and allow your awareness to drift back into the center. Don't fight your thoughts. Don't try to force your mind into the center. Let go. That's the only practice. If you have strong emotions come up, similarly, try not to fight them and force yourself to be still. Let go. Just release them. Don't act them out. That just makes it worse. Let them go with your exhalation. Few more breaths of quiet, softening of the whole body and mind. In Taoism, we talk about the red dust, the past, our thoughts of the future, the emotional charge that we come in with from the world around us, latent tension that we built up throughout the day. It clings to us like dust does to a slightly magnetic charge. And so we release that charge. We allow the dust to fall away. We dust off our hands and our mind, our heart, returning to centered peace. Silence in the mind, peace in the heart, softness in the body are the qualities that you don't add. They're the qualities that are always there beneath everything. The only way to find them again is to release everything that's covering them up. And that's what we do with this practice. Letting go of all of the stuff covering up the softness and ease. Hands are cold from washing them a moment ago. Ironing off the eyes 3 times. For those of you who are just joining us, if this is a new practice for you, please do let me know by typing something in the comment section. Otherwise, I can't see that you're here. And if you need extra instruction, I'm happy to offer it to you. Otherwise, I will assume I'm just working with the people that have been doing this series all along and will lean into more intermediate knowledge. And I will take off my headphones for this opening series, so you shouldn't hear anything. This morning when I was playing the Guqin, there was a squirrel that kept trying to jump against the window and come inside. I don't know if it was attracted to food or my playing, but I've never seen it happen before. Big fluffy winter coat. It's very cute. Emphasizing softness, gentleness, warmth, aware of that very subtle layer just beneath the skin, letting the warmth sink into the empty spaces, the open spaces that you're creating. If you notice yourself feeling distracted, let go of the distraction. Let your awareness fall back into that space inside the body. You can feel the warmth of the awareness as it touches that area. The awareness brings fullness and movement. Continuing with our very first practice as well, that with every exhalation, your whole body softens and some aspect of your awareness sinks a bit further into the space, allowing that softness to spread and open. Comfortable circles, softening open, emphasizing this movement that releases toward the fingertips. As this fascial layer melts and releases, allow that release to stretch and expand, opening and releasing toward the extremities. Same thing here. With all of these spaces around the shoulder, remember that the direction of the shoulder that we're trying to open toward is this long, soft extension. So as we release the fascia, allow it to release in that direction. Chi flow moves down toward the fingertips. Warm and friendly, comfortable. Remember to feel your hands softening. And as your hands slowly become softer throughout this practice, feel that warmth and gentle touch communicate to the points, to these areas, and allowing them to release. That idea of like calls to like. In the Daoist classics, we often talk about if we hear one bird chirp on one side of this valley, we'll hear another bird answer on the other side. Sometimes we'll have a donkey calling in the distance, and then a donkey from from the other side of the valley calls. And this is a common aspect of the world, that we recognize that one aspect of reality nurtures and resonates with another. So if my hand is tight and I start to pound into my body with that tension, it just creates and draws out more tension. If my hand is soft, if my mind is soft, then the body begins to respond with that. And that aspect of our nature comes to the front. It's the same with everything. If we watch news and we think thoughts, or we have conversations with people that are tight and constricted and angry, our whole system is called out in that space. We want to surround ourselves on the inside and the outside with that which is gentle and kind and healing. Slow and comfortable. Communicating to that very quiet layer of your body, as though any stuck places in that layer between the skin and the muscles had bits of iron filings in it, and your hand was magnetic. And you simply allow it to be drawn through, released, and circulated. Doesn't require a lot of force for that, just presence. Presence of your mind, of your intent, continuing to breathe, release. And you can do this as long as you like. If it helps you continue to soften. Take a couple of minutes. Let your awareness settle. If it drifts away, practice letting go of the distraction and letting your mind drift back. If emotions arise, practice letting go of the emotions. They'll naturally spin down, settle you back into some form of peace. If you hold your breath, let go of whatever it is that's holding the breath back and allow your breath to move naturally again. That's the kind of practice we're aiming for. All of this need to control ourselves and the world around us, that just brings misery. Let go. Letting yourself soften. Warming and releasing all of that tension that attaches to the sternum. If you need to do that rest series, please feel free to do so. Softening the solar plexus. If you watched the sequence where I discussed about the breath in these areas, the natural breath, the uncontrolled, comfortable breath, is a wonderful way to feel if you have tension here that perhaps you can't even feel. Often, if we hold tightness in an area for so long, we become disconnected with it. We can't tell if there's an imbalance there or not. It's too normal for us. But if the breath flows past that area without touching it, if it remains frozen while the breath expands and opens in the belly, we know that it's gripped tight, or it would be expanding. And so as you breathe, if it is frozen in this area, see if you can find a place that is resistant to that natural tidal wave of movement and let go. Allow the softness from the hands to soak in, helping with that process. Quieting your mind, falling into the present moment. Present moment is the only one that you don't have to create. If you let go of creating, the present moment is the one that's here. Allowing that sense of unconditional friendliness to absorb into the tissues. Your hands are a carrier of kindness and compassion, carefully cultivating. Soothing. If you happen to be carrying a baby, probably there's an intuitive sense of how to move in a way that is soothing and calming for the child. But for those of us who can never experience that, or those of us who aren't at the moment, perhaps we can imagine what that's like. How can we move in a way that allows our tissues to be calm, to release, to feel soothed and comforted rather than agitated? Make certain that your posture is comfortable and upright, resting in the appropriate location, softening your back. If you are softening your back, that helps your belly to soften. If you are sitting in a way that is forcing your core to tighten in order to brace yourself in that strange posture, you'll never let go. So find a way to sit in a way that is relatively comfortable and stable so that you don't have to use your core to stabilize. This whole area is one that, in common fitness practices, people love to make this rigid and tight when in these practices it should be one of the softest, freest areas of the body. It becomes so free that it can move like a ball, unattached and open. The breath is completely unobstructed. The organs have moved to have the opportunity to gurgle and change position. We let go. The stability and strength, rather than coming from tension and holding, comes from integration and fullness, health. Taking your time, being comfortable. Allow that warmth and softness to communicate into the back, around the spine. Again, comfortable upright posture keeps you from the need to hold on to this area to hold you upright. If there is tension there, even though you're upright, it's just habitual, and you just need regular practice for your body to realize that it can let go. It's the same in meditation and everything else. Just continual practice coming back allows your awareness to begin to come to terms with the fact that it doesn't need to be gripping all the time in order to keep the world in place. Soothing this tight area. If you tend to stand with your knees locked during the day, this is one area that will grow particularly hard because it tries to prevent your joint from buckling. So be very gentle and kind, easing it open. But when you're doing it, you're promising that you will stop standing with your locked knees. Softening that space behind the knees. Same thing, when you lock your knees, a lot of pressure is put into this area. The body grows hard in order to protect the joints. Promise that you will stand with your knees softened and your hips softened, and this part of the body will start to soften open in response. Warming and nourishing stomach 36. Gallbladder 34. Easing this area open. Gentle and soft. Soothing the sinews. Make sure that you are positioning yourself in such a way that your legs aren't having to hold you up. Find a way to move so that your legs can remain soft. You can feel free to sit on the edge of a bed, pull your leg up, whatever it is that your body requires. Everyone's body is different. Maybe you can get a chair and put your foot up on the chair next to you. But you want your knees to be able to release as you practice this. Scoot out of the sun a little bit here. Mel has set herself up with a contraption in order to help her knees relax. I hope everybody's doing something similar. For me, just the position of my body, this is very easy to do. I just lean forward and back. But I know that everybody is created a bit differently. So you just have to be creative and find a way to help your own knees soften as you practice this. There is no one right way. And as your body changes from doing this practice, you'll have to continually find new ways. Because this set, as everybody seems to be noticing, really does change you over time. Make sure that you're not holding onto your breath, you're not holding onto your mind. A reminder to keep your hands soft and warm, your intent friendly and easy. Gently releasing the space. You can use a bit more pressure in the center of the calf than on most of the other points, because we're reaching into that muscle beneath a muscle, but not so hard that the body tightens up in response, or that you fall off of your chair contraption. You have to sit on it for it to go down. Melanie is using that tall stool, and its spring load capacity almost flung her backward a moment ago. It was very exciting. Probably not very relaxing for your legs. Check in with your body to make sure that you're not holding a posture in a tight way, that your breath is comfortable and easy, your mind is present, lovingly attentive, like you're really interested in what's happening in this level of your tissues. Feel things soften open, release. As it releases, it moves down toward the toes, lengthening your body, opening the distance between your knee and your ankle. Helping your feet soften and warm. And again, moving in a way that allows your body to release, not in a way that causes your body to tighten up. You just have to be creative. Find what works for you at your level. As you go and as you improve, everything becomes easier. Simple to release, simple to relax. Easy to fold and move in a flexible way because your body starts to soften. Not because you're stretching or holding or doing something special, but because you stop adding and then having to overcome all the stuff that you added. Remember that you don't have to go all the way to the feet. You can just go to the knees if that's more comfortable, or if it's impossible for you at this moment. Just move as far as you can to release down toward the feet on the outside and back, and allow this movement along the inside and front to come back toward the center. This chair is awkward. Gentle circles with the toes. Movement traveling all the way through to where you're sitting. Remember that you're not trying to engage tension. You're just using your body. Much of the time, people only know how to make use of their joints through either being limp or through extreme contraction. So you want to find some gradation between. until you can use the minimum amount of energy that's required for you to engage the full range of motion for the joint. Remember, you can do this sitting on the ground if that's more comfortable for you. The ground here is just cold today, so I'm not going to sit on it. And then that movement with the feet, where you're moving your toes back and forth like this, I'll just mimic with my hands so you can see what I'm doing with my feet. If this begins to make your feet cramp, then go ahead and stop, give yourself a rest, and then continue. This is a really great practice to do before you get up out of bed in the morning, as well as these gentle circles with the feet and the legs that we did. You can also move your feet like this, as though you're trying to pick up a towel with your toes, stretching your toes open, curling your feet over, and circling. I'm doing these 18 times. You can do them 2 times if that feels like a lot. But please do wake your feet up without wearing them out. You're not trying to introduce tension here, just liveliness. You can also massage your feet like this, especially if you have difficulty reaching your feet during practice. You can work those points like this. And again, this is a really nice one to do before you get up out of bed. This whole series I do most every day. Should feel nice. It does. And then when you're ready, we're going to do the teeth tapping series. I will take my headphones off for the series, but I'll tap my teeth together 36 times, and then I will click my tongue, lengthen my tongue without adding tension to my throat 9 times, and then I will circle my tongue 9 times in both directions, on the outside of the teeth and along the inside of the teeth. And then whatever saliva accumulates, I can swallow that down, following the movement down to my dantian, and then resting in quiet meditation for a few minutes. And if you'd like to at this point, lie on the ground or on your bed, letting your whole body open and soften, you're welcome to. I'll stay seated here because the floor is chilly. And you want to allow your whole body to release open. Noticing this new sense of warmth, free flow. Allowing your mind to rest in the present moment rather than wandering away. Your breath is free and easy. Your emotions are quiet. We'll stay here for a few minutes. At some point, if you're lying down, feel free to again roll onto your side and gently find yourself back in a seated position. There's no hurry. And again, resting with awareness gently filtering through your whole body, as well as the space just around your body, and perhaps the room that you're in. Allowing your awareness to blend inside and outside comfortably. Eventually, our practices take us in the direction of recognizing that inside and outside aren't actually different. And so our awareness becomes continuous all the way from our deepest layers to the furthest areas of our experience. It's all one experience, and you can hold it all in a balanced way. And here we soften our awareness mostly into the tissues and the fascial layer. Some awareness resting in our dantian, our emotional layer, our mental layer, but also the quality of the space around us. Thank you very much. If there's any questions, feel free to ask. Sun's coming in nice and bright. This time of year where we are in the world, the sun is always very low at this time of year on the horizon, so it shines in almost horizontally, skimming just above the trees in the forest. Oh, looks like no questions. Okay, well, I'll wait another moment. I know sometimes it takes some minutes to come in. Hopefully we're still connected. Whenever there's connection issues, we can't tell on our end. It all looks fine. Oh, Anna, thank you very much. I'm glad that you made it. Oh, great. I'm glad that you enjoyed it, Steph. It's nice to have you here. Are you feeling better? Other than sleepy. Sleep is good. Oh, yeah. I am glad that you're getting better. You all have been so consistent. It's wonderful to have people that will actually join us regularly like this and let the transformation take place. It's a very rare thing, I think, to find a community of people who will be this consistent and regular with transformative practice. Such a gift to be around people like that. And so you have my greatest respect and appreciation for joining me. And Melanie in the background. She's waving. Looks like that's about all today. Thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoyed the practice.